from the Penn libraries.
I'm really excited to actually introduce Oliver. So Oliver's a freshman at Penn, and he came to meet us a few months ago.
Yep.
And we got very excited because we thought he was an incredibly facile user of technology. And he agreed to share with us his top apps. And he's actually also been providing workshops here.
Yes.
It's pretty exciting. So we're really happy to have a student perspective today. Let's turn it over to him.
Yeah, certainly. So I'm going to be presenting my two top apps for as a student for iPad. So I just got this recently, and for a while, like until I got it, I sort of was in the camp of couldn't really understand the benefit of an iPad. It seems like it's an over glorified huge iPod. But I mean, especially thanks to the App Store and the kind of the apps you can get for it, it's way more than that. There's some incredible things you can do with it. So I'm just going to be showing a few of those things today. So I'm going to start out with an app called Cam Scanner, which I have right here. So this is an app that lets your iPad be a scanner for using the device camera. So these are some documents that I already scanned. So I just did this one this morning. This is just a magazine that was sitting out there. So I scanned that. Well, actually, I should say this is your home screen. On your home screen, you have all of the your documents that you scanned, and you can also sort them by tags. You can attach tags to them. So this was some stuff from when we were discussing this event a few months ago that I scanned, and I have it sorted under my Apple tag. So you can sort things very, very easily, file things, keep track of stuff. And so I'll just demonstrate how it works. So if I can get out of this search window. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Actually, do you just mind if I borrow this for a second? Just for purposes of demonstration. So you have this little button at the bottom right here with the camera icon on it, you see? Or bottom middle, sorry. So you tap that, and this will bring up the camera on the device. So now I have the camera. So I'm just going to hold it over this document, take a picture of the document, click Done. And now it has it scanned. So it auto-detects the edges of the document for you so that you can take a picture, and then you click Next, and it will automatically crop it and distort it to be the right shape, it will distort it to a document shape. So now you've got this nice rectangular document. It will enhance it automatically, as you just saw there. Now you have it enhanced. If you need to adjust anything on it, you can adjust the balances here. And then you can save it. So now you have the scan right here. And you have the document in here. You can share it as a PDF. So you have this button over on the left here, the little share button. So you can tap that. That brings up a couple options for things you can do with the document. So you can email it to someone as either a PDF or a JPEG. You can also you can even fax it. So you can pay for fax credit on this device. I think it's 50 cents a page. And then you can fax things to a phone number, to a fax machine, directly from your iPad. So this is not just a thing to play Angry Birds. This is a fax machine and a scanner. And, I mean, so many other things. So now you can fax things from it. You can also open it in a variety of other apps. So, for example, I might open it in Dropbox if I want to save it and be able to share it, have it stored in the cloud. I could open it in Google Drive if I want to have it with all my other Google Docs. And then actually I can open it in Notability, which is the next app I'll show you, so I'll jump over to that later. But yeah, and then within this you can also write directly on it from the app. So you tap the little pen on the right there. You didn't see that. So it's right on the right-hand side of the screen here. You have the pen, and then you can write on the document directly in here if you need to. Although personally, I would prefer to use Notability for that, so I'll show you that in a moment. Let's try to change it. Another great feature is it has OCR here. So it will recognize the text and make it searchable. So right on the right-hand side here, you have the OCR button. So you tap that, and it will scan all through the text, find all the text in the document, and now I can search this. So if I go back, now I have this document that I've run the OCR on. Go in here and I type Gadget. I didn't find it. That's annoying. Well, it did. It finds the other Gadget Day stuff. But yeah, I think that was not a great scan. But anyway, you get the point. So I'll just jump over to Notability now, just to show you that. So I'll go from here. So you have the share button, of course. You have open in. Or actually, before I go to Notability, I'll say, does anyone have any questions on this app?
What was it called again? I'm sorry.
It's called Cam Scan. Oh, and it should be noted in terms of price, this one is actually free with the .edu email address. Although it's $5 without, free with, but I mean, most of the people here I suspect have a Penn email address. So yeah, you have that.
Oliver, a quick question.
Yeah.
Like if you were scanning a multi-page document,
Yes.
does it
Yes.
keep all the pages together?
Yes, it does. Here, I'll just show you that. So if you want to scan a multi-page document, you just bring it the camera one scan, and then you just like, let's say this was like many pages of the same thing. Yeah, that's what I should have waited for it to focus. That's a much better scan. So now I have one page down at the bottom here, right here. Oh, I have it in the wrong orientation.
It's okay.
Yeah, sorry about that. So yeah, so you have one document right at the bottom there, and then if you have more pages, I mean, I don't have more pages, but we'll pretend this is another page. It will just keep them all right at the bottom there for you.
So you just don't close the camera.
Yeah, you don't close the camera. You just keep taking pictures until you're done, and then it will like run the scan and enhance things on all of them in sequence.
And then where do you name it?
You can go in right in here, and I can't remember. I think reprocess, and then you can crop it.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, also, as you can see, you can adjust the boundaries. If it doesn't quite auto-detect it correctly, like sometimes if you don't have a background that contrasts very clearly, it won't get it quite right, and then you can just adjust it.
Oh.
So that's very useful. Wow. It's a fantastic app. This is great. So anyway, I'll just jump over to Notability from here. So open it in Notability, PDF. So this is my favorite app for iPad, like overall. This takes into account every app that I have. So I'll just, actually this is a great feature which I'll talk about right now, later that I'm demonstrating, but even important things. So anyway, this is the home screen of Notability. On the left hand of the screen you have all of your notebooks sorted out by subject. So I have like ones for each subject. I have a general one for like just random notes that I have to take. I have one for Apple work. I have one that I just made called Home. So like to make a new notebook, you just tap the plus icon in the top left right here, and then it brings up this little box and you can name it. So I guess Gadget Day. I'll just name it. Actually, since I'm typing on fully here, great feature a lot of people don't know about that iPad has is if you're holding it, like you can't get to the whole keyboard, right? You just put your thumbs in the middle and drag apart, and now you have a thumb keyboard on each side of the screen.
Oh,
Most people don't know about that, but it's one of the best features if you're going to be carrying your iPad around and typing on it. So anyway, so now I have this Gadget Day notebook that I just created. So I have a new notebook, and you can sort your notes that you have in a notebook by a variety of things. You can sort them by the name you gave it, by the date modified, the last date created, how big they are, like how many pages. There's a lot of sorting options. If you type things, you can also search within your notes, or search the title of the notes, or search within the content here. You have two options there. Personally, I prefer to handwrite my notes mostly, but you know, it's up to you. So we're just going to create a new note here. So you tap this icon in the top right-hand side of the screen, and now you have a new note page. So first off, I'll just quickly name it. I'll call it Notability. So now you have that note name, so you can keep track of it. Oh, I already named something else, Notability. I'll call it Notability 2. There we go. Anyway, so now I have this note. I named it Notability. So for taking your notes in here, you have a couple of different options. So the first option I'll take a look at is text. So just tap that. The text is this little T up in the top middle of the screen. So you tap the T, and then you can start taking notes anywhere on the screen. So I'll just tap there. And now I can start taking notes, and I can just type random things. That's a quick brown box. You get the idea. So you can take notes, which is great. I mean, if you prefer to type, you can also use an external Bluetooth keyboard for that if you choose. If you prefer that to the on-screen keyboard, I mean, personally, I've actually gotten very good at touch typing on the on-screen keyboard, which when I first tried it, I thought would be impossible, but it actually isn't. It's actually very easy. So that's great. But another neat thing that you can do with the typing feature, which some of my eagle-eyed watchers might have noticed, is the recording. So at the top right, top sort of right middle-ish of the screen, you see the little microphone icon. So you tap that, and then it starts recording whatever is being said by the internal microphone right here. So like if you're in a meeting or if you're in a lecture, it will record everything your professor or your boss is saying, so you're not going to miss anything. You can go back and listen to it. But I know I would miss things a lot. But anyway, what makes that feature even better is that if you're typing while you're recording, then when you click play, and then you can tap on a word, and it will jump to where in the recording you were when you typed that word. So the words are all synchronized to the recording. So to give you an example of how this might be useful, like I might use it in class where I'm taking notes by typing them, and if I miss something, I go back and I'm studying for finals like I am now, and I realize that I missed something or that I want to hear more about what the professor said on something, I can just tap on the word that I was saying at that time, and we'll skip to the recording what the professor was saying at that time. So I can hear exactly what was being said and that I did not take good notes on. And then, so it's basically insurance for yourself.
That's great.
It's fantastic. So that's the typing feature. So I'll just jump back to do the writing feature, which is what I prefer to use most often, mainly because I'm in like calculus classes and economics classes, so there's lots of drawing diagrams, drawing graphs and such. So that's just easier in the drawing feature. So you bring up the pen. You have the pen icon in the top middle of the screen. You can also change the color of the pen if you want to. Like I like to color code my notes in math. I'll write theorems in red so they're easy to find. I'll write examples in blue so that they're easy to find. So you can just tap the pen icon again, and it brings up this menu. So you can change the size of the pen, or you can change the color to any of these 16 different colors. You have a lot of options for coloration. So that's one thing you can do. I'll just change it back to black. So then you can just write with your finger or with a stylus. I had a stylus for a while and then I lost it because I'm forgetful. But I can't say the same for you. So if you do, then I think the bamboo stylus is best. But I lost mine. Anyway, so you can see that it's sort of tricky to write compactly and neatly, just like open on the screen, because obviously you're writing on a whole page and it's just tricky. So one of the greatest features of Notability is these two buttons down at the bottom right-hand side of the screen here. So first off, you see the little hand icon. So you tap on that, and then it brings up this little hand rest. So you can change the size of it by dragging on the 3 bars. And then this part of the screen is off. So you can just touch here, you can rest your hand here, and you're not going to mess anything up. So if you're for example, like me right now, if I want to be able to write, I can rest my hand on my iPad while writing on it, and I'm not going to screw anything up. So the other great thing here is the zoom box. So you tap the little magnifying glass icon right here, and then it brings up this box right here. And now you can change the size of it, but basically whatever is within this box is magnified up to this on the bottom of the screen, so you can write more neatly. So I usually leave it at the maximum size just because I like to have as much space as possible, but it's up to you. So I'll just erase this. It's ugly and not neat. That's another great thing is the eraser. So that if you make a mistake on a problem set, the professor never has to know. I'm not saying I use that, but maybe I do. Anyway, yeah, so now you have this zoom box and you can write here. So now it's much easier to write neatly and small. Even when you're using your finger, I've gotten pretty good at it. But anyway, the quick brown box, such and such. So, I mean, you can use that if you're taking notes, you want to use your space better. Another great thing is you might think, how do you advance it? Because obviously you move it around the screen. Is this little green box. So as you're going along, scribble, 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 and you run out of space, it jumps over automatically for you. So once you hit the green box, it detects that. It jumps over. Bad name tag. And it jumps over automatically for you to give you more space, which is great. And it also will auto-detect where you stopped writing before. So obviously you can see it stopped. where the end of my writing was. And it does that regardless, so people never advance too far. We'll just ignore that thing for now. And then when you get to the edge of the page, like I have here, when it returns, it will auto-return for you. So we'll go to the next line even, which is also very nice, obviously. So I'll just get that out of the way. Another great thing you can do here, the fifth icon on that little top row, is the scissors. So this allows you to select a word. I'll just select brown. And then if you want to move it somewhere else, you can move it around the page. You can also copy it if you want to repeat something several times over, which I'll do sometimes if I'm like making lists of things. If you're going back through your notes later and you realize that you color-coded something incorrectly, or if you want to reorganize things, you tap the word and then you tap style, and it brings up the same color coding thing you saw before with the pen. So you can change the pen size, you can change the color of the word, any number of things to just help you stay more organized. You can also obviously delete it, I guess, if you want to. I already have one word, one brown on here. I don't need to. But anyway, so that's the 5 icons at the top. The last really useful thing that you can see here on this page is the little share button up in the top left. So I know quite often I'll have like friends come to me and be like, oh, I missed this lecture, or I think I didn't take great notes on this, or what did your professor say about this? And can I have your notes? And I mean, usually that's like, oh, you have to give them your notes, and they have to take it and copy it, blah, 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 blah. I tap right here on the top left. It brings up this menu of services like Dropbox and Google Drive and such that I can put it on. Or I can just email it to them. So I can just tap email, bring up PDF, email notes, processes them into a PDF, and there we go. Now we're ready to go, and I just type in their email and send it, and it's gone. And it's already done. So it's all extremely fluid, extremely easy to do. That's why this is my favorite app, obviously. Another thing that's great for studying that I found is the ability to import PDFs into it. So a lot of times professors will, say, publish their notes or their slides the day before lecture online. And I mean, I always hated having to write down what was on their slides, because if it's already on their slides, why should they need to write it again? But I don't need to do that anymore. So, for example, I've been importing all of my econ professors' lectures in here, and I have a lecture here, and when I'm studying them, I can go through and I can highlight things that are very important. But obviously, the definition of perfect competition is important for econ, so I'll go through that and highlight it. So I know that I need to look at that especially closely. If it's during class, I can go through here and I can have his slides up right here on the device in front of me, so that when he's going through them, I can annotate them, take notes directly on the slide, so that I don't miss anything, but I also don't have to write what he's already written, which saves me time and helps me pay attention to him. The other thing you can do with that is, especially like now, all the professors are publishing practice finals and midterms on their sites. So, for example, math, I brought in a practice midterm here, not just a blank page, it's actually midterm. And so I have the problems and the whole thing on here, and then I can just do the whole set right on the device. I don't need to get extra paper, I don't need to print this out or anything. I can do it all here, and I have it all on the device, even right next to the book, because like she published a few chapters of the book that we were using for this section on our Blackboard site. So I just bring in the book. And now I have the book here. I could even take notes in the book if I wanted to, right in the book. And I have the whole book right here, right alongside all of my notes from class, and right alongside her practice midterms as well. So that's all it's all together and it's all there for you. What else is cool here? Does anyone have any questions?
Can it OCR?
OCR on your handwritten notes? No, but you can search what you've typed, obviously.
Okay.
I mean, I guess.
So if you imported something, you could use it as search.
Yeah, you can. You could search stuff. So like, just to give an example, in a note up here, yeah, this one. So I brought in an email that she sent out describing what we needed to know from these certain chapters, and I could search that if I wanted to find something specific on that email. Anything that's typed, you can search and such.
As a collaborative, tool, how would this work? If someone creates a note, they send it to someone else. Is that person able to import it and edit it, to the same note, or what would the process be?
I don't think you can export so that they could go in and erase what you had written, but if you wanted to say export a note that you had taken as a PDF, then they could import it into this app themselves, and then they could write on it and take notes on your notes. And then you could obviously you could send it back and forth that way if you wanted to.
Does it connect to Evernote?
Yeah, well, it doesn't. It's not directly connected to Evernote. Evernote has their own handwriting app called Penultimate, which I know some people prefer. Personally, I prefer this one because it allows me to write more neatly and closer, so I can take more efficient notes. But you can share stuff to Evernote, so it might not be. Yeah. Oh wait, no. There we go. Open another app, and yeah, I'm pretty sure you can open it in Evernote. Okay. And you made me think of something else I was going to say. Something related to penultimate or notability or something.
I think that I'm amazed by is there's a device that people are using on campus, $150. It does exactly what you just showed. Called the Livescribe Pen.
Oh yes, I have seen that.
Pretty much exactly what the Livescribe Pen does.
Yeah, it is very similar. I mean, personally, I like this because then I don't need to have any paper whatsoever, and this app's $2, which is a lot less than $150. For $2, this app is a screaming bargain in my opinion. So it's really fantastic. I'd love to see more people using it because I know a lot of people on this campus have iPads, but a lot of them don't use them for sort of productive applications that they could be. I have 8 more minutes, so if nobody has any other questions, or
This one might be a little more complicated than the last one, but can it be used on the phone as well, or just iPad?
Notability is just for iPads, although
the writing.
Yeah, it's the writing. I mean, writing on an iPhone would be kind of annoying.
Yeah.
You can share things to Dropbox or something, a variety of applications that you can use on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
So it's your documents aren't locked into your iPad. You can send them to your computer. You can send them to your phone if you want to be able to look at your notes mobily. I don't think you can. I don't know when you can edit them within the Notability app on your phone. But yeah.
How much is a stylus, and can you use it on anything like that? I mean,
Yeah, the bamboo stylus is the one I think is the best. Amazon fluctuates between 18 and 19 on Amazon, and it's very good. It's made of very high quality materials. It's made out of aluminum and steel, so it's very high quality thing. It's just obviously it can be lost if you're good at losing things like I am. But yeah, and it can be used on any device with a capacitive touchscreen. So that's going to be basically any touchscreen phone, any tablet, any touchscreen computer. They'll all be that same sort of touchscreen. It can even most computers, most laptop touchpads are the same way now. I know all MacBooks are, and I'm pretty sure ThinkPads are, and I mean most of them are. So you could even another application that I thought of for it is if you had to electronically sign a document, you could sign on your touchpad and put it right into the document from there.
When you share it in Google Drive, is it a PDF?
You can share it. I'm pretty sure you can share it as either a JPEG or a PDF.
So couldn't that be with the collaborative thing that you could put it into Google Drive and then collaboratively edit it?
Yeah, actually, in fact, I hadn't noticed this before, but yeah, it looks like you can share things as a Notability note on Google Drive. So I guess the answer to was it your question is actually yes, you can share things as a note, and then people can go into their Google Drive and open it from there, and then they can edit it.
And notes, what kind of file? I don't know. Is that
That's a good question. I mean, whatever Notability's file type is, it's not a Word doc for sure. It's probably some sort of unique file type that they made for the app.
But if they have Notability, they can just
open it from the Google Drive.
Yes, exactly. And I mean, obviously, of course, it's not hard to share it as multiple formats if you had to. So you could definitely share like a few copies if that was what became necessary. Yeah. Yeah, I guess just to take note of a few other neat things you can do with this app that might be valuable to some people. If you want to be able to have like paper, like lined paper, you tap on the little wrench up at the top right, and then you tap on paper, and then you can have a variety of different kinds of like grid paper at all different widths. You can have line paper at all different widths. You do even have this background. Don't really know why you would want purple polka dots for your notes, but you know, it's to each his own. No judgment here. Yeah. So obviously you can do that. Another great thing you can do. I prefer no lines, but anyway. Another neat thing you can do is if like there's a picture, if there's like something on the board that you don't want to have to write down, or just like you want to take a picture of something, you can take a photo and then import it into your notes from directly within the app. So you tap the plus icon, tap take a photo, and then it opens up your camera right in the corner of the app there. So I can just take a picture of all your view, and then I can bring it right into the app, right into my notes. I'll insert it, and then I can even put a caption on it if I want to, right at the bottom there. Everybody see that? So, yeah, you can put a caption on it. Oh no. Okay, there we go. Yeah. And then obviously you can get rid of it if you want to. So yeah, move it around. Yeah.
What type of keyboard do you recommend?
That's a good question. I don't have an external keyboard actually. I mean, it's just like whichever one you want, I guess. Just like, it depends widely on your price point and like what level of portability you want. I mean, cost no object. I think I would probably have the Apple Bluetooth keyboard that they ship with like the iMacs because it's very small and very thin and very nice to use, but it is like $70 or $80. So obviously, there's a lot of different options from like all the different case makers, Logitech, such and such. They're like much cheaper in like the $30 range that would work pretty much the same way.